Hey everyone, welcome back to the Doubting and Riddle podcast. I hope you guys are good. You guys are back. It means that you guys enjoyed the last episode. Hey guys. Yeah, it was a very hectic episode, but we're back. We have a guest co-host, Maranatha. Hey Maranatha.
Hi everybody. I hope you
How
guys are
are you
good.
doing?
Like I just felt shy. Oh my gosh.
Oh, why are you shy? We're a family here. We're a
Man.
family.
No man, it's such an honor. Thank you for having me. As people like to say, talk shows, right? So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a privilege. I appreciate you guys. And I love the work you guys are doing. So yeah, big ups to you.
Thank you for also joining us. For that, we always ask people to be guests on the podcast, and then they say no.
And you are
we
didn't even have to get a backup for you. You just said yes from the get-go, so that's pretty great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please be like Maranatha, guys.
Yeah.
Be like me,
you
guys.
Better.
Yes.
You better.
No, for real though. Thank you
How
so
has
much
your week been,
for
Maranatha?
honoring our invitation.
Yeah, thank you, Khadisha. No problem. My week has been eventful, slightly unproductive compared to what I wished it could have been, but yeah, we move. It's a new week, and I'm just grateful, man, to be here in J. Like I was actually looking forward. This is the highlight of my week, so I was looking forward to this a lot.
Thank you.
So yeah.
Stop flattering us. You're already
know,
a busy guest.
You're getting us a little bit.
Yes.
I might just cry. Thank you. We appreciate
the drama.
But yeah, so
Khudi, how has your week been?
My week, I'm alive. I'm grateful to be alive, you know. And as Maranatha says, we move, guys. I think that's the thing with life. Like as much as sometimes you just want to sit down and relax, sometimes you just gotta stand up, because if you don't stay in motion, everything else will stand still. So you just gotta keep moving, you know. So I think that helps. In the end, we're alive. We're grateful. As long as we keep moving, things will move too somehow, you know. As long as, I think that's the one thing I'll just say about my week. How is yours, team?
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that. It's just
you literally gave a 5-minute speech about how we should move on.
Not just that, like even if you feel stuck, if there's anything you can do using what you have where you are, like with the little that you know, just move. If you feel like, hey, I'm stuck, I need 10 chapters, I'm behind. Even if you do like 5 pages and you're not feeling motivated, it's something. Even if you work out once, hey man, get your heart pumping, you know, just move and try not to sit in a still place. I think that works pretty well for me. Yeah, stay in motion.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Thank you for the tech talk, Khudi show. I look forward to the next one.
That sounded shady. Oh my gosh.
You know, this is what I have to do with.
It is not, guys.
It's fine. Good toxic friendship.
We have guests. Don't air our dirty.
Look who's talking. But anyway, how was your week?
We have guests. Anyway,
how was your week?
My week was amazing.
That's
my
good.
Week was amazing. That's all I'm saying.
Just like that.
Despite the feedback we got from the previous episode, my week was amazing.
Yeah, but I'm just glad that at least one of us is having a good week, and that's good, man. Yeah, that gives us hope. But on today's episode, as you see, we have our amazing guest here. I'm so happy she honored our invite. You guys have no idea. Thank you. That's the last time I'm saying things. Maybe I'm probably gonna thank you at the end of the episode again. But yeah, we'll be
the next thing you can come with like a gift basket.
Girl, we got you. We'll do just that.
Nah, don't lie to her.
I'll do it, girl. I'll send you like an e-wallet for a Kit Kat.
Please send us money. Please send us money so that we can buy our gifts.
That's not how it works.
Well,
No.
but thanks for the idea. We will add a working GoFundMe
Yeah, we'll think about it.
in our social
We'll consider
media links. But so about to say, as you guys see, we are with Maranatha, and we had mentioned previously that we're gonna start going into relationships. And the most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself. That we are at right now. We are single. Very single.
Wait,
Some of
is
us. I don't.
Maranatha single?
Yes. I hope. Are you?
Maranatha, are you
I almost
single?
said I hope so, but no, girl. If you're not, then that's great.
Yo, guys, I'm very single. Let me not even lie to you.
How
Like, I'm
single are you?
Yes, I think
the
that's
last
the
degree
question.
of single.
Wait,
Like-
let me turn this mic around so that they can hear you properly.
Like the last degree of single that you can think of. Like the most single that you can ever think of. Like, yeah, that's how single I am.
That's very single.
So why are you laughing?
No, because I understand. That's me too. This is why I asked, like, are you guys single? But how single are you? Because that matters. Because some people
I
are.
think I'm
talking
the
to
singlest
someone
person. I think I'm on like
the
top
singlest.
of the single pile. Because
What is that? Actually, let's even distinguish all these different levels, because there's people who are super single, meaning they're probably not even talking to anyone, nothing. And then the people who are like probably in talking stages or whatever. You are like super duper.
I'm actively trying to be single. That's how single I am.
Oh, yo, hey, that's. Yeah,
I'm at the top of the pile, guys. I'm not trying to get into a relationship.
Yeah, no.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
I'm practicing self-love. I'm in a relationship with me.
Yes. Yes, on a boy.
Yes. And while we're at that, why are you then single, or why are you practicing that? Once you answer that question, then Maranatha will let us know why she is.
I don't think I'm ready to be in a relationship, honestly. I don't think. Yeah, I think I still have so much to do personally. I still have so much work to put in to myself that I don't think I'm ready to be in a relationship anytime soon. In the next, 10 to 15 years, maybe in 2040, somewhere there.
Hey,
I'll start considering it.
Wait a minute. Are you being serious? Whoa.
No.
It's not far. He's talking 5 years. This guy's talking 5 years. He's not even talking. Listen. So he's actively.
No, I don't. There's no timeline to when I think I'll be ready to be in a relationship.
Yeah,
I just think that right now I just need to focus on myself. There's a lot to be done, honestly. I'm also like trying to work on my relationship with God more. Instead of looking to relationships. Like, I'm genuinely trying not to be in a relationship.
Okay.
Is it the same with you, Maranatha, or is it different?
It's different for me. Okay, so I know the place that Atle is at right now. Like, I know it very well. I was there also, I think maybe a year and a half ago, maybe like around that time. I was where Atle is at now. And it's never a bad thing, to intentionally say, like, I want to be single. But like with your own reasons, you need to have a reason for everything, I believe. A reason for wanting to be single, a reason for wanting to be in a relationship. And some people find themselves in relationships with absolutely no reason as to why they want to be in a relationship. So, but we'll get to that, I believe. But yeah, right now, I'm single, but not looking, but I'm single with the openness to being in a relationship. So like, if I feel that anyone who approaches me, I believe I would want to get into a relationship with, like, I'll definitely go for it. I'm at that point now. So yeah, I'm open to a relationship.
So you're in the waiting room, basically.
I'm in the waiting room. Yeah, I'm in the.
And what about you, Khudi?
I am, because, well, it's by choice. I got out of a relationship. I don't like calling it that because it was super short, like 3 weeks long. So, and after all of that, I had to reflect. I had to reflect and be honest with myself. I'm like, am I ready? And I don't think I am. And that's the reason I'm not on one. I don't think I am ready. And if I got onto one, it'll be because of selfish reasons. So I have to be super honest with myself. Yeah, it'll be because of selfish reasons, because that's exactly what happened in the previous one. I liked the attention. I liked literally everything, like the attention and the time and the gifts and whatever. But then I'd be like, I actually like this for all the things that I'm getting and not because I want to be in a relationship. No, I don't think I want to be in one. And truly speaking, even with the people I've probably spoken to in the past couple of months, I then realized I'm like, nah, why am I wasting people's time here? Because I know, like, after 2 days, I'll be like, man, this is really selfish of me to be trying to waste this person's time, because I know for a fact that I'm not ready to be in like a full like commitment and like let's do this. So yeah, it's probably going to be for a long while, because I feel like when it's time, it should probably be when it's closer to me, like being super serious stuff now, and you bring a wallet to my house. With where I'm at now, I don't know, like for you. I feel like if that's what happens in my next one, then that'll be great. Which is the other reason I'm probably not rushing into one, because I mean it really sucks, this tedious constant, like there's this person, then there's the next and the next. It's tiring and emotionally as well. Even monetarily sometimes.
How old are you?
So yeah.
How old are you?
Ask no questions here, no lies. I'm old enough.
How are you already tired? How are you already tired?
I've lived, man. Honestly, or maybe, but from what I've experienced, it's just okay. Or maybe it's just emotionally taxing as well. Like, how many breakups am I gonna be hurt over? So now
I understand what you're saying, Kodisha. Like, I really feel like this thing doesn't have an age limit or anything. You can get tired at a very young age and just want to like stop
breathe.
dating. I get it.
Be on your own for a long while. And I don't feel like for most part of it was done intentionally with most of them. And I think that's why I want ahead now. Like, let it be done intentionally. So if that means I'll have to be single for a really long time, then let it be. It's okay.
So what does being intentional look like to you in a relationship?
We both know where we want this to go, because I mean,
did you guys say we're getting married at the end of this relationship?
That would be great, but something that I realized that can easily happen is to put too much pressure for something to head towards that maybe sometimes when even things are going wrong, but we're like, but we wanted to get to that point, but we're realizing all these red flags. If it ends up there, that'll be great. But of course we will mention that this is where we want this to end up. But we should be careful that we don't maybe end up in places where we realize that this just might not end up there, but we keep pushing towards that because that's what we said we want. I think clear honesty and constant communication of expectations is very important from the get-go. And if we realize maybe we're not headed to the same place, then hey, man, let's not waste each other's time. There's someone for you who's waiting for you there and they're feeling lonely. Go get your girl. But it ain't me. For me, right now, I'll be on my own. It's okay. It's okay. I'm good at that. Plus, almost most of my friends are too. So we're in this together. So it's all good.
It's good that you're on the same page with your friends. Maranatha, what does being intentional look like to you in terms of dating?
I think that being intentional is really just knowing what you want, man, and communicating that.
Maybe I should backtrack a bit. Are you looking to be intentional in your relationship? Because
Definitely.
I think there are a lot of people who like enjoy casual dating. Which one are you? Intentional or casual?
I am very intentional. I feel like anything that isn't intentional is going to waste my time, and I don't have time to waste right now, you know. I really feel relationships can be emotionally taxing, and they can be draining and exhausting. They can be exciting also, and that excitement, too much excitement sometimes isn't good at all, you know.
Yeah.
So
speak on it.
I'm definitely one of those who are like very intentional about what I want, you know. And casual dating, man, is not for me. I think I tried it, but like I I realized very quickly
what
that
happened?
this is
Are you ready
it
to
didn't
talk
work
about
out.
it?
It ended in tears. Like you know, like it didn't work out for me. I just realized that this is not for me. I can't do this. So yeah, I'm definitely the type to be intentional about what I want. Otherwise, step away from me. Like Hudi said, I'm not your girl, you know, move on to the next subject. Who might give, you know? So yeah,
yeah.
definitely intentional.
All right. I think personally, after coming out of my previous relationship last year, I think I realized that and I said this on the previous episode that I've been reading a lot about Christian dating and how to look at it. And I've realized that what we define as intentional is more of the Christian way of doing things. So I think a lot of us, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Maranatha Lena, I think you are Christian. I'd like to think so. But yeah, I think I've realized that there is a Christian way of dating that the world doesn't necessarily agree with, and they look at it as more of an uptight way of dating. I think, yeah, and I think that's where I am at right now. I don't think it's being intentional. I think a lot of people are intentional. I just think that I am in a place where I want to date the way God wants me to date, the way God wants me to look in a relationship. And I said this in the previous episode that I look at relationships as being very serious, and in doing that, it's also important that you set boundaries, because I said that you're not married to the person that you're dating, and it sounded like Khudisha was disagreeing with me.
I wasn't disagreeing with you. That's
anyway,
what you said. But anyway, keep going.
Anyway, yeah, I was saying that I think I'm not intentional because I think there's so many other things that people who are intentional do that I don't think I want to do in a relationship. But yeah, we'll get into it because this is not my episode. We're not going to talk about what I think about everything.
But you actually mentioned something now when you talk about being intentional. I know it's a bit off track with what you just said now, but when it comes to like relationships and being single and stuff, I think if like you say, for some people, if they're being intentional, it's different, like in the Christian perspective or whatsoever. But that's not where I'm going. It's a bit different because now it's making me think how we are more intentional with the things that matter to us, right? So now I'm thinking, even when it comes to us being single and whatsoever and getting into relationships, I'm thinking that for some reasons it's probably not even like a priority at that point. I think that's something we should be able to recognize, maybe why you're not in one or maybe why you're in one. Because I mean, look at our age, man. Imagine if you got an opportunity to go live in Europe for the next 3 months, and now you are young, but you have to discuss with your boyfriend who now just said
that's my chat. That is my chat.
You're not even married to. You have to have this talk. So
Count me out, hey?
I got this job opportunity to work in the Netherlands, and I think I'm gonna leave you. And imagine being stuck between such a great opportunity and a relationship. For some people, maybe it works, but guys, for
Yeah,
some people. So it kind of also goes down to what you're saying, like how these people you're dating, they're not your husband or your wife, those kind of stuff.
And I'm gonna keep telling you guys that every day.
Gonna hear it a lot.
Those people are not your spouses. They're your brother and sister until you guys get married.
Do you know what Atlas says? Please tell me also.
Okay, wait.
Yes. Please let me know what you think about that.
Brother and sister. Dude, I have a brother and a sister. So I can't imagine thinking of my now relationship or my partner as a big. No ways.
Why not, guys? They are your brother and sister in the Lord.
Yeah, there's a huge difference.
What's the difference? No, they're your brother and sister in the Lord until you guys walk down the aisle. And yes, guys, and hear me out. I say this because I think we've let our guard down as Christians in terms of dating.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of things that we have started to allow because the world says it's cool to do. And yeah, let me just go there. Let's talk about sex in relationships. In the church, there are couples who practice sex before marriage. It's a thing. Trust me, it is a thing. If you don't believe me, ask your your church leaders. They'll let you know that there's so many couples who practice sex before marriage. And I think that in saying that, you are my brother or you're my sister while we're in a relationship, it sort of sets a boundary that protects both of you guys from getting into that. And I'm not saying that it fixes everything. I'm just saying that there's so many things that we need to start to and these are things that I heard when I was growing up, and I thought these people are crazy. I mean, I heard this when I was a kid, that this person is your brother or your sister until you guys get married. And at first I thought it was crazy. I thought it was stupid because, I'm in a relationship with this person. But I'm realizing that, you start to, I don't know how to word this properly, but you put this person in a different box than your friends. And once you do that, then, you start to develop this intimacy with this person that you wouldn't have with anyone else. And I think that's when you basically let your guard down. And I think I've become very gung-ho in my approach to relationships. I think that, don't do this until, don't kiss, keep your distance as much as possible. I mean, personally, I think you shouldn't get into relationships until you're genuinely ready to be married, until you're genuinely ready to get married. I think it's okay to develop a bond with someone in the confines of a friendship instead of developing it in a relationship. And so, Maranatha, as our guest, I have a question for you. What do you think of of that? Because Khudisha has firmly disagreed with what I've been saying, and this also goes
exaggerating it in a way. He said firmly. I didn't firmly disagree. I just
I've been trying to convince you.
I speculate. No, I agree with most of it. Just not.
Do you? Is it because you're in front of the people now?
No.
Yeah, but anyway, my question is, I'm giving you a scenario. Personally, I think let me just give an example with Hudi and I. I think that if Hudi and I, we meet each other, we bump into each other, and I say, "Hey, Hudi, I like your hair. It's sort of cool, and I'd like to get to know you more. I think I kind of like you, but we both know that we're not in a place where we are ready to get married anytime soon. And let's say anytime soon is 2 years. Doesn't have to be 2 years specifically. I'm just saying that, we're both not in a place where we know that marriage is on the horizon anytime soon. I think personally, and the conventional way of doing things is to get into a relationship of 5-6 years, right? That's what people do. You get into a relationship until you guys are ready to get married. That's how, the world works, because we like each other. Personally, I think that maybe Khudisha and I should be friends for like the first 3 years. Get to know each other, hang out, sure, but like keep it at
Friendship
strictly friend. Yeah, keep it at a strictly friend
special friends.
basis. Yeah, well, not special friends, because then it also then brings in the question of benefits. But I'm saying that keep this person as a friend. The same way I regard Maranatha as a friend, I'll regard Khudishu as a friend. Okay. What do you think about that? Even though I like Khudishu.
Yeah. Okay. This is a tricky one. I won't lie. Like, this is very tricky because of the way we grew up, seeing things, and the examples that we've had, it's just, it's quite interesting. There are different scenarios that I've gotten to experience, right? But personally, I think the brother and sister scenario thing is fine. You like a person, right? You like this person, and you like them in a romantic way for a romantic purpose, and you want to see them one day in a different light. So a lot of what happens in a relationship, or a lot of what happens prior to marriage, I believe is things that are supposed to prep you for what's ahead, right? So now if I'm treating you like my brother or my sister, and then it's the whole matter of, okay, sharp, there's like, we're friends, but like I'm treating you like a friend, but deep down in my heart, I know I like you romantically. For me, it doesn't really click, because it's just like, okay, so when do you finally go ahead and be like, sharp, now I'm gonna treat you romantically? Like, now do I have to now marry you? Like, now, like, we have to be within the covenant of marriage for me to treat you in a romantic way. You get what I mean? Because it's just the whole thing of, okay, sharp, okay, I can keep it real, almost like 100%.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, how am I gonna know that you're a good kisser, first of all? Like,
okay,
how am I gonna know that?
Should I answer that now?
No, don't answer that now.
Let all those questions end first.
Oh, okay.
Like, how am I gonna know that? How am I gonna know that you're gonna buy me flowers? How am I gonna know that I can cuddle you? Like, how am I gonna know? Like, sex aside, like, obviously, not obviously, but within this context, we're putting
Christian dating.
Within the context of marriage. So cool, we're leaving sex off the table, but then, like, romantic things, like, how am I supposed to be in your presence and feel this is the person that, like, I'm in love with, because you can't say you're in love with your brother or sister. Like, there's a huge difference. I was telling someone else this, that, like, there's a huge difference between loving someone and being in love with someone. And that's where this distinction comes in for me. I think that's very important. I can say I love my little sister. I love her so much. I love her to bits. But am I in love with her? No, I'm not. Am I in love with chocolate? Yes, I'm in love with chocolate. But then, like, I can love chocolate and be in love with chocolate. You understand? But then for some things, like, the two can't coexist. Like, I feel like one belongs to the other. Like, I really feel there's a huge distinction between the two, and hence get this thing, brother, sister. I do get it to a certain extent, like the whole respecting thing and trying to have that boundary of trying to create a pathway for us to finally get to a point where we feel that, okay, we're ready for this marriage thing. And then we're going to respect each other up until that point. In that sense, like we'll do everything that we can to like make sure that we don't get there. So that's the brother sister thing. As far as I can understand it, that's how far I'll take it. But otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
All right. So just to answer your question.
Romance.
Yeah,
just to answer your question.
I wasn't before you answer the question. I wasn't thinking it from a point of what Maranatha is saying, but of like, how do you know how this person is romantically? You know,
yeah.
Which is why I had asked you the questions that if you go from this point, like, I don't. Which is why maybe I'd say like a special friend, maybe you know every once in a while you go out, you can still send me flowers and whatever, because I feel like of course certain things we're doing it to protect like certain boundaries, but I feel like treating somebody like your brother and sister in Christ, like you say, is I don't know, it's different than I'm not too certain with how she said. It's like you don't even know deep down, like this person maybe doesn't know deep down that this is where you want this to be headed or whatever. Like you won't even know that the romantic side. I think that's something I just never really thought of. Yeah, but you can answer the question now.
So I think personally, just to start off, I think my approach to this has been because I've noticed how we are no longer taking sexual purity as seriously as we should anymore. I'm just gonna start off there. As Christians, I don't think we regard sexual purity so much. I think we live in an over-sexualized world where, you know, you're exposed to porn at a very young age, you know.
And I feel like, and just to say a note on that, I feel like that's even still out of Christianity. In general, we're just living in a very over-sexualized world.
Yeah. But I think as Christians, we the standards are still the same. We're still required to maintain sexual purity, even despite what the world thinks. You know, the world thinks that, you know, you need to have sex with your partner before you get married to know if they're good in bed. That's what they say. And I think, and I mean, it's a very weird comparison, but you talked about kissing, and you said, how will I know this person is a good kisser? I think personally, I regard them as the same as someone saying, you know, how is this person any good in having sex? Because I think these things you learn. I mean, you're told as when you go through marriage counseling that, you know, none of you are going to be good at sex at the beginning because, you know, you guys are both virgins. If you guys are both virgins, you guys are going to learn, and like you have the rest of your lives to learn. I think with kissing, it's the same thing. I don't think kissing should be the reason why you break up with someone. You come back after a date and I'm breaking up with this guy because he's a bad kisser. So just to answer that, to get that out of the way, I don't think kissing should be the reason why you base your...
Okay.
It shouldn't be.
To be honest, it's actually a bit shallow. I won't lie. Like, it's a bit shallow. But then, but like, my point is, right, it was the thing that Khudisha says, like the romance part of it, man. Okay, yes, we will learn from each other. But then there's the whole, you know, like, fragile masculinity. It's just the whole thing, Rio. She's gonna leave me for someone else because like I'm not doing the right thing now, you know, like even within the whole, like within marriage now, like now we have to teach each other. How are we gonna teach each other, you know? So I once saw like this what do you call this, there's like there was a series I was watching. It was a YouTube series, I can't remember, but then the gentleman and the lady, like they married, and then they were both virgins at the time. That was their story, and they did say like they asked for the Holy Spirit's help, like to have sex. And for me, that was like, it blew my mind. I was just like,
whoa.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
you know, like you ask the Holy Spirit to help you have sex. You know, that sounds crazy, but when we think about it, that's actually how it's supposed to be. If we're keeping it at 100, you know, we're supposed to ask God, because sex comes from God. It's like it's something that was created by God for married people. And so if we don't know how to do it, we have to talk to God and be like, God, let us do the right, lead me, type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I
hear
also,
you,
I also,
Adley.
I also think that with the whole romance thing, I think that's also where we've let our guard down, honestly. And personally, honestly, I think we should be very gung-ho when it comes to relationships. I think that romance is it's a slippery slope, eh? Because you talked about cuddling, and I'm just gonna use like the literal examples. I mean, it sounds like something that, yeah, actually I want to be in a relationship and I want to be cuddled, but the thing about intimacy is that you start to crave more of it the more you get.
True.
Okay.
Once I get into a relationship with Khudisho, sorry for using so many examples. If you like Khudisho, don't think that we're in a relationship. We're not. But anyway, yeah, guys.
my friend.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm saying if I'm in a relationship with Khudisho, and obviously we start off casually, we go on dates. The next time she visits me, and we're cuddling, we're chilling, we're comfortable. As time goes on, we get more and more comfortable. And what happens is, the more comfortable you get, the more you let your guard down with this person. And our bodies can't be trusted, honestly, guys.
I think that's where the boundaries come in, though, and the intentionality that we were talking about.
That's
initially.
Exactly what I even wanted to mention. I'm like, I think for me right now, it's currently one of the reasons why I'd like to even take a little bit of both what you said and what he's saying about the importance of friendship. Like, regardless of before moving to the next stage, I remember telling someone of my friends, I'm like, for me, with where I'm at, I don't know if this was a year ago or what, I'm like, it's actually pretty important before getting like into a relationship or something super serious with a person to know them as a friend, because it's, when you know them at that point, you're literally getting to know them as a person. But somehow the intention is for us to like get into a relationship or whatever, people come at the approach of, actually, let me show you the type of person I'd be if I were your partner, instead of being genuine. So I think that's where I'm at now, the importance of friendship. That's why maybe also now maybe ask them their stances on relationship, or you ask them their stances on celibacy and all that, and their intentions if they were to get in a relationship with a person who said that, hey man, listen, I'm celibate or I'm waiting and whatsoever. What is your response to that? And I think that's actually one of the reasons, like now I said that that's probably why I'm single now, because for people that I get to know, I still get to know them like on a friendship basis, and I ask them these questions because because some people, you get into these things and then all of a sudden now you are feeling pressured to do something that you said no, from the get-go, and now you're feeling pressured to do things you don't want to do or you shouldn't be doing. So for me, with what Maranatha is about to go on, like the importance of intentions and boundaries are super important, and if that means maybe you have to be single a little bit longer, and that's okay with me. I mean, there's
man.
Yeah, so that's just what it is. That's just what it is.
Yeah, like I was saying, Adley, you mentioned that our bodies can't be trusted, which is really true. What's the biological term for this? Okay, let me just say our biological build, like it really our urges. We have urges, we crave certain things, and that's just how we're created as human beings, and which is completely normal, but at the same time, it's the whole thing of my spirit is willing, but my flesh is weak, so it's like, where do you bring in that balance to say my spirit needs to have control over my flesh? Like it really needs to also come from a point of have I been praying about this enough? Have I been speaking to my partner? Am I on the same page with my partner? You know, like I really think I like to look at it as like, you know how there's a movie and then there's like the trailer before the movie. I really feel that dating or courtship before the actual like marriage side of it is like the trailer. You know, you get to like you start learning about this person, like first like the friendship. For me, that's the order of it. It's like friendship, and then we can move on to dating or courtship, and then if ever like God wants to take us there to the marriage side of things, then we get there. But then I really believe that romance should be a part of the dating part of it. Honestly,
but what do we define as romance in a from a Christian perspective? What would be romance?
Anything that glorifies God. Still, I think.
Maranatha, you need to tell me, what does romance look like? What do you think is romance? If a guy comes to you and he's like, let's get into a relationship, and he does a few things, what are those things?
At least that person, he told you he's gonna put you in the spot. Welcome.
I love the questions. Keep them coming, my guy. That's fine. Okay, so for me, I really think that everything should be according to, like, it has to be according to both of your faith. Like, it has to come agreement on this thing, you know. So romance to me might look like one thing. Romance to him might look like something else. But then we have to come to an agreement to say, okay, this is what our romance is going to look like. So it might be the buying of flowers, going out on dates, you know, anything that's going to bring us together and make us feel more comfortable in each other, but then with the boundaries as well, and the intentionality, you know, like this is what we've agreed that this is how we're going to do this relationship thing. And as long as it glorifies God, then that's it, you know. And
with what you're saying now, like with the boundaries and with both people being like, this are my expectations, these are my expectations. I think if both people are intentional on that part, I'm pretty sure if it gets to a point where maybe it's becoming a little bit too comfortable and, you know, might end up doing what you both said that you don't want to do, there's probably going to be like wait, this is maybe getting a little bit too, I don't know, whatever. We just might end up doing what we had said that we don't want to do. So I think if it's coming from both sides, you know, not me coming and being like, this is what's up, or a person coming and being like, so I don't want to have sex, and maybe I'm like, damn, now I have to adjust, you know, then there will be some sort of pressure. But if maybe I'm coming at you with that mindset and you're coming at me with that mindset, and these are our boundaries, these are our expectations, I feel like when both people are intentional and not really somebody changing up what they had planned for another person, it's easier when both people are intentional from that point.